Um, Hello, tutora. This is the final encounter where I show the evidence of the oral production of each of the students who were in all the meeting of the two groups. Each one sent the video so that I made to the complete compilations in the last evidence. The activity consists take into account the topic that we have seen during all the week in the meeting we had in the link by Hangouts. For the evaluation, I designed a list of all of topics that we have seen and to each of the student. I send into topics for by email and WhatsApp group. These topics are those that will be carried out according to the context learning and are asked as final evidence to perform an oral productions. I share my screen and we are going to present about the videos. Okay. In the first group, there are four students: Miguel, Oscar, Juliana, and Federico. The first students with you final task.
The present continuous tense is formed from the present tense of the verb be and the present participle ing form of a verb. In this case, the use is like this. For example, we use the present continuous tense to talk about the present for something that is happening at the moment of speaking. Example, I'm just leaving work. I'll be in home in an hour. Please be quiet. The children are sleeping. For something which is happening before and after a given time. At 8 o'clock, we are usually having breakfast. When I get home, the children are doing their homework. For something which we think is temporary, for example, Michael is at university. He is studying history. I'm working in London for the next 2 weeks. For something which is a new and contrasts with previous state. These days, most people are using emails instead of writing letters. What sort of clothes are teenagers wearing nowadays? What sort of music are they listening to? Prepositions. Prepositions are short words on, into, etc. that usually stand in front of nouns, sometimes also in front of gerund verbs. Even advanced learners of English find preposition difficult as one-to-one translation is usually not possible. One preposition in your native language might have several translations depending on the situation. There are hardly any rules as to when to use which preposition. The only way to learn preposition is looking them up in dictionaries, reading a lot in English literature, and learning used phrases of by heart. Study tips. The following table contains rules for some of the most frequently used prepositions in English. Examples. On. It can be used, for example, in this case, for days of the week. On Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Saturday. In. It is used for months, seasons, time of day, year, after a certain period of time. In August, in winter, in the morning, in 2006, in an hour, etc. At. At is used for night, weekend, a certain point of time. When. At night, at the weekend, at 9:30. Since. Since is used from a certain point of time past till now. Since 1980. Fourth, over a certain period of time past till now, for 2 years ago, a certain time in the past, 2 years ago, before, earlier than a certain point of time, before 2004. 2. Telling time. Also past is for telling time. Examples 10 to 6, 10 to past 6. 2. Till, until. Marking the beginning and the end of a period of time, from Monday to or till Friday. Till, until. In this sense, how long sometimes is going to last. He is on holiday until Friday. By, in the sense of the latest up to a certain time. I'll be back by 6 o'clock. By 11 o'clock, I had read 5 pages.
Simple present and physical description. This is me. I am medium height. I am medium weight. I am fair skinned. I have short, straight, brown hair. In this picture, I don't have beard, but usually I have it. I have brown eyes and I use glasses. She is my sister. She is a pretty woman. She is medium height. She is slender. She is fair-skinned. She has long, straight black hair. Her eyes are brown. Simple present tense. The simple present is used when we talk about usual and repeated actions and particular and general truths. This is an example of a grammar structure: affirmative, negative, and interrogative. Affirmative: I live, you live, he lives, she lives, it lives, we live, you live, they live. Negative: I don't live, you don't live, he doesn't live, she doesn't live, it doesn't live, we don't live, you don't live, they don't live. Interrogative: do I live? Do you live? Does he live? Does she live? Does it live? Do we live? Do you live? Do they live?
Task 8. Juliana Bello Ramírez. General information. To make our introduction with the general information, we will use the month, school subject, hobbies, free time activities, mobile genres, and jobs to tell a little about our life. My name is Juliana Bello Ramirez. I'm from Colombia. I live in Cajicá. I am 19 years old. My birthday is on September 20th. I am a student. My favorite subjects are English and history. My favorite sports are tennis and swimming. There are 3 people in my family. They are my father, my mother, and me. My father is an electric technologist and my mother is an archivist. My hobby is dance. In my free time, I also like to play the piano. I don't like go to the shopping. My favorite food is Chinese food. My favorite drink is blackberry juice. My favorite day of my week is Friday because I am go to the ballet class. My favorite month is December because I like the Christmas. My favorite singer is Jose Andreas and my favorite band is Mago de Oz. I like the romantic comedy fiction and action movies. I don't like the horror movies. The most beautiful in my country is San Andres. The family. Members of the family: great grandmother, bisabuela, great grandfather, bisabuelo, grandmother, abuela, grandfather, abuelo, mother, madre, padre, padre, wife, esposa, husband, esposo, aunt, tía, uncle, tío, niece, sobrina, nephew, sobrino, sister, hermana, brother, hermano, cousin, primo, prima, daughter, hija, son, hijo, granddaughter, nieta, grandson, hijo, mother-in-law, suegra, father-in-law, suegro, sister-in-law, cuñada, brother-in-law, cuñado, daughter-in-law, nuera, son-in-law, yerno. My family tree. He is my grandfather and she is my grandmother. There are my grandparents. My grandparents have 3 children. He is my father and she is my mother. There are my parents. My father has 2 sisters. There are my aunts. My aunts are married and their children are my cousins. The who is used to ask for family members. For example, who is she? She is my mother. Who are they? They are my parents.
This and That, Daily Routine, presented by Luis Federico Herrera Portela. This and that. We say this to tell that something is close to the speaker, one object or thing. For example, this is a book. We say that to tell that something is away from the speaker, one object or thing. For example, that it's a book. This and that. Examples. Singular. This house is beautiful. That house is beautiful. Plural. These houses are beautiful. Those houses are beautiful. Grammar: this, that, these, those, this tie, that tie, these shoes, those shoes. Singular: this is an apple, that it's an apple. Plural: these are apples, those are apples. Daily routine: get up, have a shower, have breakfast, work, do the shopping, walk the dog, have dinner, watch TV, read a book. My daily routine in the mornings. I get up at 6 o'clock every morning. I pray to our God for a new day. I brush my teeth. I drink water. I get relaxed. I have breakfast. I brush my teeth again. I get a shower. And I get dressed. Thank you for watching.
This and that, there is, there are. Ana María Sánchez. Use. English grammar. Here, this singular, this plural. There, singular, that plural, those. This and that are called demonstrative and they are used to show the relative distance between the speaker and the noun. Demonstrative pronouns. We use this singular and this plural to refer to something that is here near. Examples: this is my car, singular. These are our children, plural. We use that singular and those plural to refer to something that is there, far. Examples: That is our house, singular. Those are my shoes, plural. Examples: this book, here, close. These books, here, close. That book, there, not close. Those books, there, not close. Demonstrative adjectives. Grammar. Demonstrative adjectives are in red plus noun in blue. Singular. This pen is red. Plural. These pens are blue. Demonstrative pronouns. Singular. This is a red pen. Plural. These are blue pens. Grammar. Demonstrative pronouns are in red plus verb in green. Or by self. Example. Do you want this? We use there is and there are to say that something exists. Use there is plus singular noun. There are plus plural noun. There is plus uncountable noun. Positive sentence. We use there is for singular and there are for plural. Example. There is one table in the classroom. There are three chairs in the classroom. We also use there is with uncountable nouns. There is milk in the fridge. There is some sugar on the table. And there is ice cream on your shirt. There is plus singular noun. There is example. There is a book on the desk. There are plus plural noun. Example. There are books on the desk. There is plus uncountable noun. Example. There is some milk in the fridge. Negative sentence. The negative is formed by putting not after is or are. There is not a horse in the field. There are not 8 children in the school. There is not a tree in the garden. There are not 2 elephants in the zoo. There isn't plus singular noun. Example. There isn't a pen on the table. They aren't plus plural noun. There aren't any pens here. There isn't plus uncountable noun. Example, there isn't any juice in the fridge. Questions. To form a question, we place is or are in front of there. Again, we use any with plural questions or those which use uncountable nouns. We also use there is or are in short answers. Examples. Is there a dog in the supermarket? No, there isn't. Are there any dogs in the park? Yes, they are. Is there a security guard in the shop? Yes, there is. Are there any polar bears in Antarctica? No, they aren't. Is there any ice cream in the freezer? Yes, there is it. We change the position of is and there. There is a cat in the shade is the positive sentence. For question, is there a cat on the chair? In this picture you can find examples of the grammar with there is and there are. Remember that there isn't is there is not and there aren't is there are not.
My family and I. Name Judy Alexandra Zúñiga Meneses. Hello, my name is Alexandra Zúñiga. I am 19 years old and I am student of the UNAT. In Barcelona, degree in English and foreign language. My favorite food is fish and potatoes. My favorite sport is swim. I like reading books, history and fantasy because run and escape from my reality and flee towards a better world. This is my family. Who is she? She is my mother. What her name? Her name is Veronica Meneses. How old is she? She is 21 years old. What does she do? She is housewife. What does she like to do? She like go to church and cook. What is she like? She is loving, worky, and cheerful. Who is he? He is my brother. What is his name? His name is Vladimir. How old is he? He is 30 years old. What do he do? He is seller. What do he like to do? He like watch movies, eat pizza. What he like? He is dreamer and funny. Who is she? She is my sister. What her name? Her name is Jasmine. Who is she? She is 22 years old. What does she do? She is a student. What does she like to do? She like play ball and also sing. What she like? She is patient. Who is she? She is my sister-in-law. What is her name? Her name is Maria. How old is she? She is 25 years old. What does she do? She is housewife. What does she like to do? She like to draw. What is she like? She is smiling. Who is she? She is my niece. What is her name? Her name is Isabella. Who is she? She is 2 years old. What does she do? She is a student. What does she like to do? She like play, watch TV and the animals. What is she like? She is annoying, calm and playful. Thanks.
My physical description. My name is Julia Estefania Quintero Reyes. I am 23 years old. I live in Bucaramanga. I have long, straight and brown hair. I am short stature. My skin color is porcelain. My face is square with big ears. I have big eyes. I use gloss, a small nose, and perfect lips. I have a mole on my cheek. I use a bracket. My hands and feet are small. My building is pink.